So this one asks us to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through -2, 5 and -3, 8. We're going to check our answer using the point-slope form. So first of all, let's take the information they give us. An equation in slope-intercept form, again, that's m and b, so we've got mx plus b, okay? We're putting m and b in there. These are the 2 points we're looking at, so we've got x1, y1, x2, y2. We're going to use those points to find the slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and put them in there. This is going to be 8 minus 5, because the y2 minus y1, -3 minus -2 equals 3 over -1, which is equal to -3, because this is 3 plus +2. -3 plus +2. So that is one bit of information. Now, we don't have the y-intercept, but we can use, again, this equation. And we can use one of the points as your x and y, and your m is -3. So we're going to replace y with 5, because we're going to use -2, 5 as our x and y. All right. So 5 is equal to y, and it's equal to -3 onto -2 plus b. And now we can, as we did before, we can solve for b. And b is going to be, if we -6 on both sides, b equals, b equals -1. And that right there is the key, because now we can use that, plug it back into y equals mx plus b, use our b and use our m. Our m is equal to -3x. And we've got b, which is now -1, and we're done. Except now we have to check it. So what's the best way to check that? We're going to use the point-slope form. So back to here. So we've got 5 equals 6 plus b. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. Okay, right here. Be able to get rid of that 6 there. We'll cross that out. We're going to subtract 6 there. We get b equals -1. b equals -1. Now we use that b equals -1 by putting it into y. Alright, so 5 equals -3 times -2 plus b. We've substituted in -2 and 5 in for x and y. And we end up with 5 equal to 6 plus b. Subtract 6 on both sides. We're just following this through, and we get b equals -1. b equals -1. What do we do with that, though? b equals -1. We're going to plug that back into our friendly, good old y equals mx plus b, which we rely on so much. We get y equals -3x minus 1. We're done, but we want to check it. So what do we do to check this answer? Well, they suggest we use point-slope form. Let's find out what point-slope form is. All right, so point-slope form it looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m onto x minus x1. And of course we have our points. We're going to go back and find them. I can't remember what they are. -2 and 5, it will be x1, y1. So we'll go y minus 5 equals, again, we have our slope. They gave it to us from the beginning, -3. X minus -2, which of course is going to give us a positive. Y minus 5 equals -3 onto x plus 2. Now, y minus 5 equals -3 onto x plus 2. We get y minus 5 equals negative 3x minus 6. And we continue, we're almost done. We're going to add 5 on both sides. And we get y equals negative 3x minus 1. And guess what? This checks out because it's exactly what we had when we did this one. They're supposed to be equal. And they are. Absolutely perfectly right. Answer, y equals minus 3x minus 1 is the same thing, and then we checked it with our point slope form. So down here again we went y minus y1 equals m onto x minus x1. Replaced y1 with 5 because again our point is, okay, negative 2, 5. So our x and our y, we've got our x here and our y there. And we replace those and we've got a negative 3 as our slope, negative 3x plus 2. Keep solving it into y equals mx plus b form, and guess what you get? You get y equals negative 3x minus 1 again, which is exactly what we want. Okay, this is algebra test 1, and it's part 2. It's chapter 7 algebra test, but it's part 2. And they're asking about parallel perpendicular lines and whether or not, if they're parallel or perpendicular or neither. In this case, we've got two equations, 4x plus 10y equals 4, and 4x minus 2y equals negative 2. Our first step is going to be put them in y equals mx plus b form. To do that, you have to subtract 4x on both sides there, and we'll go through with this one. 10y equals negative 4x plus 4. Right here, when we divide by 10, we get negative 4 over 10. X plus 4 over 10. Our m is equal to negative 4 over 10. And our b is equal to 4 over 10. To have parallel lines with this, they would have to match. The m or the slope would be the same. Let's do this one in red. We've got 4x minus 2y equals negative 2. We're going to subtract by 4x on both sides. Negative 2y equals negative 4x minus 2. Divide by negative 2. We get y equals 2x plus 1. M is equal to 2, and b is equal to 1. And clearly, they don't match. The slopes do not match, so they are not parallel. Okay. Let's see what else we can find. They're not parallel, they're not perpendicular because if they were perpendicular, they would have to multiply, the slopes would have to multiply to be equal to, well, that's going to be 2 actually. That would be negative 8 over 10, but that does not equal negative 1. Remember, with the perpendicular lines, they have to be, with the slopes have to multiply so that they're equal to negative 1. That's not the case here. In this case, our answer is neither, okay? Neither is our answer because they're not parallel or perpendicular. So there we go. Number 2.